We are live, and I had technical issues for a moment because I tried to, screw you, Andy, tried to make some stuff work, but my old brain could not make it happen. So it took me a moment, and then I gave up.
Technology. You gotta understand your place on that one.
I did. I did, and I'm sad. But I will put out some of the ones that I already had, and then I will look at Discord, and we will try to get some of those questions in.
All right. Well, before we kick into it, Brad, I'm going to tell people what we're doing just in case we are fortunate enough to catch someone on their first time. What we are doing is Hot Players Debate Top Topics. That's what it's called. And this is where Brad and I answer all of our community questions for an hour here on YouTube. If you are wondering where are they getting these questions, let me tell you. We get them from the Art of War Discord. How do you get in the Discord? Simple. There are several ways. All of them are fun and convenient. First up, become a member of the YouTube channel. There are links below. Please click them. Also, while you're at it, like, share, subscribe. You know the buzzwords. This is how we make money, and that's how I afford gasoline and food. I like both of those things. So, otherwise, you can go to the War Room, and that's our website, theartofwar40k.com. You become a member of the War Room right there, or, again, on this YouTube channel. All you got to do is sign up, and you'll be emailed as part of the welcome email, an invite to the Discord. Go to the Discord. That's where we answer the questions. I will give you a hint, though. We are suckers for super chats. Crazy for super chats, even. Brad.
Cuckoo for super chats?
Coco for super chats?
Cuckoo. Come on, man.
I didn't watch enough breakfast cereal commercials.
Because you're a baby.
All right, Brad, you ready to do it? You ready to launch into this one? I'm excited for today.
I'm gonna rock. I've already forgotten half of the ones that I posted up, so
that means it's gonna be a surprise. This is better. It's good this way.
It's always good.
All right, Brad, lay it on me.
Let's see. Let's start with the Athian. What's your guys' opinion on some tournaments banning the use of Leagues of Votan before they've had a chance to really hit the tables? Is it a knee-jerk reaction, or is it justified? It's a knee-jerk reaction. We haven't played a single freaking game with them in tournament. You can't... Everybody's upset about something, and they might be justifiably so, but you have to, see things happen first, because... Leagues, I think, is going to be very, very polarizing because it has matchups that feel fairly unwinnable for the other army, but but they also have the
things will be able to beat them.
Yeah, and the thing with that is that should we let the meta work itself out a little bit, or with the caveat being that you're going to have some armies or some people playing armies that are going to have some pretty bad feels bads.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about that one personally. When you just get to that point, and they're like, "Oh yeah, go screw yourself, X army." You can beat Votan by just never completing actions or getting shot by them, but then some armies just don't have that choice, right?
Depends on it's going to depend on the terrain a lot. If I'm playing Votan on GW terrain, I actually think that you are not easily beatable, but you have counters against them because they don't have a lot of. I think they have one indirect thing. They have the grenade launcher that you can put on the Zergers, but besides that, everything's shooting straight ahead. So hiding is the biggest thing. The problem is that if you play big guys, you play knights, you play something like that, it's going to feel like a game that you can't possibly win.
Yeah, I feel like Knights, Chaos Knights, Custodes, and Death Guard are all armies that can't really make a game plan around, I'm just going to sit here and win. They've invested so much in, toughness stats or durability stats, and those, don't exist against Votan. That hurts pretty bad.
What I do think I want to couple this with another question, or another that we had, which is, since the past books, this edition, should tourneys not allow books until they get an FAQ or a certain time after release to stop feel bad moments? I want to couple that with this question because I don't think it should be auto-banned, but I do think that we should have an FAQ before a book's allowed, at least in majors and stuff like that. Any big tournament. There's been way too many mistakes and we've had a couple problems with books at launch where they're just a dumpster fire. I think that if you're going to have it in a GT, play it in your RTT or whatever and do whatever you're going to do. GT level events, I really do not think you should have a book unless it has an FAQ.
That's okay. So like, I can understand why, but then like the real question is, do we care about it being a tangible FAQ? Because like the first FAQ for some books is
a real FAQ.
Okay.
The FAQ where they like go, hey man, we just printed wrong stuff doesn't count. That's like we don't really have printers and we don't speak English.
Do you remember when Imperial Armor like came out? Like this might have been 8th edition, but we got an Imperial Armor and it had the Hornet in it. This is the little Eldar idiot thing, and it comes with 2 pulse lasers. And in its warrior section, it says that it can replace its shuriken cannons with missile launchers or bright lances.
Yeah, you originally
didn't have any shuriken cannons.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
For like 3 weeks, it just was unusable. And then the FAQ was, yeah, you can take the warrior options that we said you can take.
Yeah.
Thanks, GW. Does that count as an FAQ?
No, that is English isn't our strong suit. And we're moving on. I got a super chat though. Let's rock this.
Woo!
George, looking at some Craft World Eldar. If I'm going to buy 2,000 points worth, what's a good all-comers list that's semi-competitive and help learn the faction? Just play my list that I'm going to play this weekend. It's fantastically fun. Literally, I'll post it. I actually posted it up in the Eldari Discord channel. But you want lots of Dire Avengers, want some hand-to-hand elements. I have double Banshees, single Scorps, some Shining Spears, 3 one-man Warwalkers, Uncle K, 2 Farseers, 2 Rangers, a Guardian. I will post it again in the Discord. I'll put it up one more time. But that's actually a really nice starting point because I have a lot of different stuff in my army, which means that also you will have the ability as things change to have lots of units.
Yeah, so they wanted to look up this list that you're mentioning on Best Coast pairings. Would that be under the Las Vegas team tournament?
Yes.
Okay, just so that they know where you are this weekend.
Yes, I am in Vegas. Also, I decided to accidentally cut off my psychic powers, so I do have to put those back on.
Oh, yeah, please do.
All of the goodness, all of the time. But I'm a big thing of I think that we should. Here, I'm going to go with my hardcore on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Every single army should get an FAQ and a balance little nip on it 4 weeks after it comes out.
Yeah.
So because go ahead.
All right, so I've got a couple things with that because Bradley, I'm disagreeing with you. So that is the ideal response from Games Workshop. However, without getting Games Workshop to change anything, because frankly we can't. What does the community do? Like without change on Games Workshop's part, what should our guideline be as a community on what books we accept? Because I agree, if Votan comes out, you say, okay, no new codexes in the first 3 weeks. And then week 4, they drop, an FAQ which would include balance issues if necessary. And that's like the real FAQ, not the, oh yeah, we meant to say 5, not 7 for the page number. Cool, who cares? That would be great if they did that, but unless they indicate they are doing that, we have no reason to believe that's coming. So what's our plan until then, and what should we do independent Games Workshop? I don't think Votan are going to require a ban. Votan looks giga strong. However, I do think that the community should be willing to have the conversation on the ban, not just say, nope, we can't ever ban anything. Because there's been conversation about it, and I think that conversation is important to have, and I don't think we should default to, well, we didn't ban Harlequins, so we can't ban Tyranids. Well, we didn't ban Tyranids, so we can't ban, Imperial Knights. Well, we didn't ban Imperial Knights, so we can't ban Votan. Like that literally never stops. So does Votan require a ban? Probably not. I think on power level, like affecting the meta, they're probably going to be on tier with or slightly above released Tyranids. But hopefully Games Workshop is getting faster and faster at fixing things. The Tyranid book was the first time that I saw the initial FAQ, the here's the obvious typos and making sure the rules work FAQ that we always get. That one actually included nerfs. I would love it if Votan did the same thing, because this is a stronger community reaction than we've seen since Tyranids, and I think it's even stronger than the community reaction to Tyranids. Tyranids, everyone knew they were strong. Votan is getting an even stronger and harsher reaction from the community. I would actually be surprised if Games Workshop hasn't noticed at this point.
I don't like bans. How about that?
All right. Well, Brad, I have bad news for you. You're banned.
I just don't like people not being able to play what they want to play.
Mm-hmm.
But we just need FAQs, man. I mean, are we gonna have to start embracing like third-party people, like WTC types things? You know what I mean? If GW doesn't respond quickly enough, and have effectively our own FAQ, but then it becomes, do we have the problem where we had a while back where we had 15 different bodies making rules for each tournament? You know what I mean? So I don't want a billion different, I don't want it to be like boxing where I have 15 different belts, but I also don't want things that just go broken for too long. You know what I mean? We've had a couple different armies that could have been easily fixed, and they eventually were, you know what I mean? We're toned back. So that's a big deal in and of itself, is just the timeliness of it. Uh-oh. You got this one, John.
Shameful.
Inception's got one for you, John. I'm not reading this. This is you.
Oh, Inception is with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much for your support. They say, John, I know you don't subscribe to the tenets of the greater good. That's true. But will you sign my Sunshark at Crucible? Oof. Inception, come see me at Crucible. Come see me at Crucible. I'll be there in 8 days. We'll work something.
Best comment so far. Brad wants to ban bans.
That's what I'm hearing.
I will ban the ban.
Yeah. The main argument against bans is that it doesn't necessarily give data then on what needs to be fixed, because everyone who didn't buy the Votan box set agrees that Votan is going to require some changes.
Yeah, I mean they just do. 100%.
Yeah, like that's a fact. Also, what changes are required? I personally think it's kind of obvious that you can tone down the book a little bit just off reading it and be like, yeah, we can get a first patch done, then release it in the wild, then make further adjustments as needed. As always, my vote is for slightly more frequent balance patch changes.
I want to go to the wall on this one real quick because I want to do two things here. One, I don't think any gun should ever ignore invuln saves. 100% agree with that.
And also remove demon saves and make them invuln saves again.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Please.
The other one I want to go to is I don't really understand the argument of, okay, we know this army wrecks almost everyone, but we never banning it so people can use new stuff. Everybody else gets to feel bad instead. The problem is we shouldn't be in a spot where everyone gets to feel bad. That's my whole point, is that we need to start fixing this stuff. And I do agree very hard that these armies shouldn't be legal until they get an FAQ. So we don't have to ban them. They're not really, I guess we're banning them until they get an FAQ, but there's that's where I'm okay with ban. I'm not saying that this army can't be played. I feel that this army can't be played until you get an FAQ. Because not only have we had balance issues with some of these books, we've had straight up interactions, which you have to go to your TO and go, hey man, is this how it works? And they have to go, it's terrible writing. You know what I mean? And those also have feels bads because you have weird mechanics that can be abusive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some comments on the wall as well are that a ban sends a message to Games Workshop that it needs to be addressed. I think the conversation should be had seriously and legitimately, especially as like a signal flare, like, hey, this is not good. Because Games Workshop has been getting better and better about fixing these things, because look at the reaction time that Drukari got. Drukari was like giga broken for about a year, and AdMech Brad.
It was giga broken it was bigger broken than Liquefied Land.
Yeah, it was giga broken when it came out, and then it was merely broken, and then it was merely like S tier, and now it's like only A tier. I'm so sorry, Brad. But like the reaction time to Drukari was longer than the reaction time to AdMech. AdMech got fixed faster relative to its release. than Drukhari did. And then, what was the next, like amazing book after that? Probably Grey Knights, even though they weren't at the same level. They got fixed faster than Admech. Custodes got fixed faster. Tau and Tyranids each got fixed faster. So like every time a new book comes out and there's the window of this is the top dog, literally build a hard counter or play the army or go home. That window has gotten shorter each time. So, that eventually it'll just get like Games Workshop will just be really on top of it, but just, making sure that they don't miss it, right? Like I trust Games Workshop about as far as I can throw them, but like they have done good work recently. So let them know like, hey, big problem, and hopefully they continue their trend.
Yes and yes. My thing is I still stand by the FAQ thing. They're just so bad in the initial release. A lot of times. So, I mean, I could argue about it. You know what? I'm moving us on because
I did forget about Orc Buggies. They got fixed too. They got what Sean gave them.
I really think that they need to play it at the higher level, man. I'm moving on. I'm going to a new question.
New question. Let's do it.
Less controversial. What founding chapter best suits a full Primaris army? Lore-wise and crunch-wise, would a Gravis-only list have any play? Play Salamanders. Play Gravis. It's awesome.
100% Salamanders.
Salamanders, baby.
On every mention, as far as like what should be done, like what is played as an all-up Primaris army, because I can't think of any firstborn units that I want in a Black Templar army. But Salamanders have the same thing, and lore-wise, Salamanders are probably a little more. No, actually, I think Black Templars got on board with the Primaris pretty easily.
Yeah. But they can't have a full army of Primaris.
They totally can.
They kind of can.
They have Primaris Neophyte squads. What else do you want? Oh, you know what else I want?
We got a super chat with the epic inflammatory. We're going back. We're going back. I tried to leave, but you pulled me back in.
Godfather Brad, the Brad father. All right, here's a super chat from Zlack Onion. We really appreciate your support. It helps us run this channel. Zlack Onion asks, does Games Workshop release overtuned codexes in an attempt to sell more minis? If they do, is it a problem that streamers are somewhat in their pockets because they get free things from Games Workshop? Two points to that. We'll go one at a time.
I want free things.
Yeah, Brad, you get the free things from Games Workshop, right?
I don't get any free things from Games Workshop.
Brad. It's funny, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, when the Eldar Codex came out, we actually got a bunch of plastic miniatures. It had a sticky note on it that said, "For Brad." Wonder whatever happened to those. Probably just left them in the closet.
I'm not even answering that one. That makes me sad. I want free stuff.
All right, so let me take the first half as Lakonen's question. Does GW do this in an attempt to sell more minis? Honestly, I don't think they do. Like, I know it's a hard stance to take with Votan looking the way they're looking, but genuinely, I don't believe so, because I still haven't taken the shrink wrap off of my Paragon Warsuits or my Gladiator Reaper tanks.
I think you're semi full of shit on that one.
Me?
Yep. I'm gonna full disagree on it. Not in a malicious way on this.
No, I will make it malicious.
GW is a model company. They're trying to sell models, so I don't think they're trying to overtune things. But I do think they're trying to make them enticing to buy, and I think they're screwing it up with doing that. I think they're trying for a 50, and they're putting things at 150. You know what I mean? So
they're trying to make them cool.
Yes, they're trying to make them cool. They're literally missing the crap out of the
when you try to do something new and cool, it's very hard to hit the balance. It's it is easier to adjust the balance when it's in a framework that's already established. Like, GW is never gonna release a broken intercessor, because if the intercessor itself isn't broken. Like, it's like, okay, well, we have an intercessor. We're going to make a new assault intercessor. It'll have a chainsword instead of a gun, so it's going to cost kind of less. We'll give some cool strats. People want to take it. Great, awesome. But that's not, They're not going to like have an intercessor and make a new assault intercessor with a 3-up interval. Like that's never how it's going to work. It's when they do something completely new and they're like, let's give it an interesting mechanic. Let's make it cool. Let's make it badass that people have fun playing it. And then they make it a little bit too badass. Like sometimes that happens.
I want to know what unit of money that is.
I genuinely do not know. Oh, Rafi is asking about Paragons. Oh, that makes me happy. But let's finish out Zach Onion here before we talk about our next super chat, which we do appreciate. And that is it a problem that streamers are somewhat in their pocket? Streamers do not have to be nice to Games Workshop. Some of them choose to be.
If you choose to be, you are invited to things more often than not, though. But that's how life works. if you're cool with people, you get that they're cool back to you. So I don't really know in the pocket. I try to my thing here. I'll give you this because I am typically in the brand of not being negative about our game because I don't know if being super negative changes anything because the GW people make tons of mistakes, but they're people. So if you're super terrible to them, they're going to fight back and they're going to be resistant to the things that you have to say. So I try to word my scathing parts as positively as I can so that they're hopefully embraced and they look at them as opposed to just get an immediate reaction of harshness. Doesn't go sit well with a lot of people. You know what I mean? They don't react to it and they stop listening to you because you've heard somebody that took a ton of time making a codex, you know, with all their ideas and stuff, and you tell them how much they suck, they're going to be a little resistant to changing that thing because
you know, part of it is just, you know, attempting to be polite and positive so that it's better content. Part of it is just being respectful and being like, you know what, honestly, the person that I'm talking about genuinely might watch this video. Yeah. And like not trying to be rude here. Is Votan a little bit much? Yeah. Is it beyond fixing? Absolutely not. Everything can be fixed.
It is a bad base mechanic though. I'm gonna say that one.
Yeah, it's judgment's a little strong out the gates. But you know what? They got excited about making cool StarCraft space dwarves, and
they should change.
Can't blame them for that.
I want space dwarves hard. I am a dwarf, and I'd love to go in space. However, you should change the judgment token mechanic completely. It should be literally shot in the face, drug outside, and become something different.
Should definitely change.
Well, no, but you should do like maybe it auto wounds on 6s, and then maybe it gets a reroll of 1s and something. You should get 2 other things, but not auto wound on 4s. That, you know what I mean? Auto wounding on 4s that count as 6s with full rerolls showing up fairly easily is too much.
A lot.
The mechanic itself has to be busted. I just don't think that you can fix that. If you want to go into the Votan thing, and I'll circle back again. If you want to go to the Votan thing, we're going to have to... Judgments has to be completely revamped. You can keep the first line, and the second 2 lines have to change. I don't even care what they change to. They just can't be auto wound as 6s on 4s.
Yeah, can't be that.
I don't even care what else it is. It just not that. GW is going to respond by, really? Okay, cool. You're auto wound on 3s.
He's less than 4. That's not as good, right? All right. I want to address the super chat from Rafi real quick. Rafi, thank you so much for that super chat. We really appreciate your donation of 60 Israeli shekels. So, what changes do you think would make Paragon Warsuits competitive? Would you run them on WTC terrain, Games Workshop, etc.? All right, so the biggest thing that Paragons need, which would literally auto-slam them into my lists, and therefore maybe it's too much, infantry.
Just make them breachable, yeah.
Make them infantry. Love me some Paragons. Just make them infantry so that I can go through walls.
I mean, Centurions can go through walls, and they would...
A broadside battlesuit can go through a wall and get light cover. I looked at a broadside next to Paragon, I'm like, okay. Like, all right, one of these can go through a wall, and one of them is a lot smaller.
Well, the thing with the Paragons is I don't even care if you still made a special rule that said they can jump over or move through, or they have cutters they can move through. No benefit. You don't even have to give them benefits of cover. Just let them move through walls. Period.
Yeah, remember when they took cataphrons from being infantry to a bike unit that can go, or cavalry unit or whatever it is, that can go through walls? Yeah, just let paragons just Kool-Aid girl through walls. I would like light cover, but that may genuinely make them too strong. So I'm willing to start off with just the breachable, not the light cover part. Just do that to paragons, just please. With that said, current rules, I would say that paragons are better on WTC terrain than on GW terrain. GW terrain, the obscuring terrain, is very binary. Paragons are tough sometimes, but they're not so tough that I like to walk out in front of the world and say, target sign here on my face. And on WTC terrain, it's a lot easier to go from behind a wall to being in a relevant spot than it is on GW to go from behind a wall to a relevant spot if you can't go through the wall. Because the GW, L's are actually U's, you're either deep into U, at which point you have to back up 5 inches to leave, or you are all the way behind the ruin, at which point you are not anywhere remotely useful on an objective or in range of anything. So
I agree that walkers should be able to Kool-Aid man through walls also.
Walkers should be able to Kool-Aid man through walls. Oh, yeah.
And Hunter is correct. Cav is the worst keyword in the game. It's not even close.
No, Chariot. Chariot's worse than cavalry.
I don't know, man, because you took a guy that should be able to go through a wall and you made him not go through a wall.
Exactly. That's what a chariot is.
Chariot at least possibly can't go through a wall. It's a chariot. Cav is just like, why can't I go through this door? Yeah, man. I
do like that, like, gray hunters and wolves can go through walls, but a gray hunter on a wolf, like,
absolutely not. He can't duck, dude. The door is only so small. Man.
All right.
I feel like I should rant about Votan even more. I got fired up now about it, though. I got so fired up that my light blocking blinds literally just fell off because I was ranting so hard, apparently.
That's a sign from the Emperor, as a matter of fact.
I'm gonna add a question here.
Okay.
There's always going to be a little bit of scissors, paper, rock. Well, how much scissors, paper, rock are we willing to accept as a community? And I'm obviously thinking about Votan, but there has been other armies that almost auto win against certain other armies, but don't against others. For instance, right now, if you're playing Death Guard, Deathwing, Knights, big guy demons, you're losing to Votan, period. That's just happening. How much of that are we willing to accept as a community? Because there's going to be bad matchups for certain armies. You know what I mean? So this super durable, slow-moving army is going to lose to this. This shooting army on good terrain is going to lose to this. You know what I mean? How much of that are we okay with, and what's the limit, basically? The limit is probably not Votan. How about that? That is beyond the limit. Because I talked about it. I've ran multiple testings now with the Votan against things like Knights, and it just feels like the Knight player literally is pounding their head against a wall. There's just nothing that they can do.
Like, maybe if I deploy on the line with like a Tyrannus Crusader and then I go first. I
guess they can kill like 5 Knights a turn.
Yeah, no, there is that. Yeah, I'm basically thinking, how can I get my knight to 3 judgment tokens before my opponent's command phase?
It's just... yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying, Corey. Certain armies are going to be able to beat Votan. Yeah,
Necrons can beat Votan. I think Tyranids can beat Votan.
Tyranids are going to beat Votan. I think Blood Angels will smash Votan on GW terrain, actually. But it just...
I've been seeing 30 Berserker lists, and I don't know if I agree with that.
Yes and no, yeah, because you're willing to trade, but you have to pick up big shit, too. I don't know. I'm getting more. It does seem... Man, I want to see more of it on the table, to be honest. I hate making snap reactions about stuff before I've seen it in wide play.
That's right, yeah. We definitely, everyone needs more practice with it just to make sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is another good comment. You're on fire today, Brady. Imagine if instead of wacky fluff anti-other faction strats, they actually made strats to help weaker matchups instead. Yeah, that seems good.
Yeah. Let's give Guard a stratagem specifically for Witch Cult. 1 CP can shoot into combat against Witch Cult.
We've always hated him. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm moving on. I'm sorry, guys. I got caught up in the mojo of space dwarves being broken.
Happens to all of us.
Is Siegler in prime position to win the ITC 3-peat? Should all events have a call-out system round 1 so people like John Lennon can't avoid playing me?
Buddy, if there's a call-out system, I'm already playing Brad round 1.
Every time. And round 2, I'm going to call him out again.
Yeah, I will play Brad 9 times in a row, see what happens.
Our own separate tournament. You're like, I don't know what happened. I think John and Brad dropped because they refused to play anybody else.
Yeah, it's weird. John had the lowest strength of schedule I've ever seen. None of his opponents won a game.
Oh, shots fired. Shots fired. You know what? Jacob's got a super chat. Thank you so much, but I'm going to disagree with it. He goes, love the content. What buffs would you guys give Grey Knights? They seem to be in a rough spot at the moment. I actually think Silver Tide's in a good spot right now.
Their shooting needs like...
Well, I was about to say that they need some AP in their shooting is what they need.
Yeah.
But the rest of their army, unfortunately, you had to break up all your falchions to put on swords. But with the swords, they're in a good spot. Their smites do very, very well. They've got a great match in the Necrons, actually. But they need some AP in the shooting phase because even though...
Doubts about that one, but continue.
What's that? I think they do. You should get off the recreational drugs, John.
All right, Brad, I've played 1 game of Necrons in my life. I've been playing Warhammer for 14 years, and I played 1 game of Necrons in my life. This was about 2.5 weeks ago, and I played Necrons, just picked up a list, didn't read the book before I did, and with just the rules that I knew that Necrons have, without even looking for new ones, I got a turn 2 concession out of Jack's Grey Knight, so I was like, okay.
Well, I'm just saying he should have played it better.
Yeah.
How about that?
Fair enough. You tell Jack.
I'm going to call him after this to tell him I talk crap to him.
It's a lot better for Nova. He changed his list with that in mind.
Yeah, and also, no, that doesn't even count. You brought that stupid Terminator list. That's not even a real list.
If you're trying to tell me that just normal foot infantry Grey Knights is strong, I will laugh you out of the building.
You're high. We're gonna argue about this later.
We will.
But they need some AP in their shooting phase because their shooting phase right now is fairly weak.
Yeah, and also, as Tim Penny noted in the chat, all their strats are 2 CP for some reason. Not all of them, Tim. Sometimes they're 3.
Yeah, that's true. Their strats are overpriced, and they need AP in the shooting phase.
Mm-hmm.
I think they've got a lot of utility. I like the army. I like them a lot more than you do, but I do think that they need some... They just don't have AP.
Yeah, just give them silver bullet stormbolters that are AP1 inherently, and then they go to AP2 with that strat.
Yeah.
Fun.
So that would make it significantly better. They bounce off too much stuff right now. The problem is that they didn't get changed at all in an Armor and Contempt world with all the new stuff coming out. They still work very well against things with bad saves. Basically, elves hate seeing Grey Knights with bolters, but everybody else does not, hopefully. Hoping and praying. We are! We're totally live!
Yeah, we're back. Heck yeah.
Oh, man.
Dun, dun, dun. All right, Brad.
You know, hot topic. The people building the house next to me should be beat with sticks because they keep knocking out my power and my internet.
I feel like there has to be a better solution.
I literally live on a peninsula right next to the lake, so we have the oldest of electrical and internet coming to the back of on the lake here. Okay, hold on. I got to get my chia. You guys got me all riled up about Votan and testing and things, and then I got knocked out.
You never get or will get.
What's that?
All the free stuff that we're not giving you.
God damn it! Been touched in too many wrong places. This is hurtful.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Elves don't deserve nice things.
All right. Okay. You guys ready to talk again?
Let's go.
What was I talking about? I was doing something. What's my next? If you're not playing 40k, taking a break, what game would you be playing? A drinking game.
I've got some interest to that one because I'm a gamer, and if Warhammer ever goes under, so if Games Workshop goes under, it's Star Wars Legion 100%. If for whatever reason I took a break from 40k, Heresy and Sigmar are both appealing to me.
Play some Alpha. I like Alpha. I play decent. I used to play decent amount of
I
Alpha.
genuinely forget that Malifaux exists, and then once a year I go to a Warhammer event and there's like a tiny little Malifaux sign. Like the Malifaux event will be held in the unused women's bathroom of the event. Like, yeah, okay, but they're both in there having fun.
It's a fun game, but there's a lot. To tell you the truth, there's a decent amount of games that I would play. I would play if I was playing taking a break. I would play a bunch of different games as opposed to being super involved in one game, to be honest. Because there's a lot of miniature games that I've dipped my toes into the pool, but 40k is kind of all encompassing with that. I used to play a lot of BattleTech actually, way back in the day. If you guys went to the old Gen Cons, BattleTech used to have if you went to Gen Con, they had a range of 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. was the tournament slot. It was just like, you're playing all day, man. Clan Mechs for life. Clan Mechs for life. Let's go into Mr. Laney, Mr. Adam Lane. What game mechanics would you like to see added in 10th? I'd like to see one deleted.
Flyers.
I hold on. I got to get my chi because I'm going to swear so much talking about flyers after my internet went out. So I hate the flyer mechanic with a passion of 1,000 suns. Anything that's not interactive in the game should not be in the game. There's never a time when I shouldn't be able to touch one of your models. It's stupid. And no interaction should be like that.
Brad, after I've seen your Cheeto fingers, I actually don't want you to touch any of my
Cheeto
models.
fingers. If only. Love everything about that. I really wanted to get this chart, by the way, up on the wall, but I messed it up and I didn't save it and make it happen. Exactly, classic Brad Flyer rant. It is though, man.
We can always get more Brad Flyer rants. We really can.
You never have enough Brad Flyer rant. By the way, it's just it can't. It's not enough. It's never enough. You know what? I'm gonna make this chart thing work. I swear to God, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're gonna post the chart.
I'm gonna post the chart.
All right. Well, while Brad works on the chart, mechanic that I'd like to see added in 10th edition. Oh man, I don't know. I'm not very creative. I wonder if we could get like I don't know. I don't actually know what I want. I just know what I don't like.
I know what I hate. My heart's full of hatred.
Yeah, Games Workshop like knocks my door and they're like, John, you have one shot to fix the game right now, and I'm just gonna like blank slate like I've never had an original thought in my life. It's like,
there you go. Chart is here.
At like a meet and greet, and they're like, give us a fun fact about yourself, and it's like, I would rather not.
I've made the chart work. I was trying to make it fit normally in the thing, but screw it. It's now just a picture.
Before we address the chart, I'm going to address the super chat. Batbrush with the 10-pound super chat. Thank you so much, Batbrush. I like Batbrush. I like that name. It's like
Snivar's calling me out too.
Completely off topic, but I am super hyped. There's a new assassin model, even if it's only for Heresy. Love the stream, guys. Batbrush, I am deeply, deeply hoping that Games Workshop just sneaks some Forge World rules in. Just sneaks them in. Just
sneaks them in?
Yeah, just sneaks them in. Just like infiltrates into the next Imperial Armor. Like, I get it. They're probably not going to do this in a timely manner. But like, you know, we're on 9th edition. At some point, there will be a 10th edition. Whenever that happens, we'll probably get Imperial Armor. The next time they print an Imperial Armor, 1, Mechanicum. 2, give me some rules for these assassin boys, because I would love to buy more assassins. I love assassins, and I just want them to not be terrible.
Nah, I'll give you that. It's hard to make them fluff-wise. We were talking about this the other day. But let's see. George got it. Imperial Navy sub-faction in the IG decks. Oh, my.
When are we gonna get an agent's codex? Like, can we just get codex agents of the Imperium?
I want to play the game. What was the 40k role-playing game that was...
Alas, I do not know the name.
I'd like to do that. There we go. I'd like to see that. Let's go into this chart here. So we've got trash versus beat, damage output, mission play.
What a great chat. So following on from Fix My List yesterday, which is the only thing FML stands for, what are your favorite units in each quadrant, and which quadrant is your favorite, not best quadrant to play units from? All right, Brad, I want to see your favorite unit in all four categories here.
Trash is by far my favorite quadrant. I am.
No, Brad. Trash isn't a quadrant. Trash is a line.
Yeah, like the trash mission play quadrant. That's just what trash does.
Because I like trash damage output the best.
I think that's my second, because I literally don't bother with anything durable in most of my lists. I just go for output, and trash mission play. So I'm way to the right of this. So I think one of my favorites though is, as far as bang for your buck, man, servitors are so good in trash. And it's
pretty good trash.
And it's so annoying when they're taking it. It should give you an extra point when you take an objective with a servitor, because people are just like, oh, gotta be kidding me. The janitor just took this objective.
All right, Brad, what's your favorite damage output beef unit?
Damage output beef unit?
Damage output beef.
Damage output beef. I like the trash damage output.
Yeah, nope.
That's where I live, man.
Damage output beef.
Eradicators.
That's your favorite?
Okay. I don't think I'm thin of the news. I like the idea of dudes just rolling in with just giant guns that should be mounted on vehicles, and they're just carrying them and just nuking stuff. He said it's not the best. I just like them as far as.
For me, damage output beef. It's gonna be a tie between the Glorious Retributor and the Achilles Pattern Dreadnought for Custodes. Love both of those. And Retributors are in fact beef because they cost over 200 points when you buy a 10 strong of them, which is the only way to take them. You know it's true, Brad. You know I'm right. And that's why it hurts. That's why it hurts.
You're a fool, John.
Beef mission play. What you got for me?
A beef mission play?
Yeah.
I don't.
No?
I don't. I don't though, because I think that mission play units shouldn't be expensive because they're playing the mission, and you shouldn't be dropping points.
I'll give you one. Canoptic Scarab.
That's not a beef.
It is 36 wounds, Brad.
It is so cheap.
It is 36 wounds.
Fine. If you're going to do that, I'm thinking beef, I'm thinking more expensive stuff. And Scarabs are amazing for what they do. You got me on that one. You got me. I'm going to give you the W on that one, John.
I gotcha.
You got me on that one, because Scarabs are freaking amazing for mission play, and they are unbelievably irritating to kill.
Yeah, the trash mission play just absolutely has got to be, just has to be. It's the stupid Voidsman at Arms.
Or what about the plasma site?
No, because the plasma site has to stay near someone.
That's true.
The Voidsman at Arms get left so far behind, but they always catch up by the next game.
You're like, we forgot about them. What?
Yeah, the Voidsmen at Arms start huffing it over. They're like they get to the board right as deployment ends, and they just they're like, I need a breather, guys. Don't worry, you can sit behind that wall.
I'll give you everybody's popping in with the fact on this. The Chaos Terminator break for beef and mission play, because that is what they do. They literally plop down on an objective and just go, well, this is it.
are pretty good at that, yeah.
Oh crap! If we were talking about trashed here, mission play, the Cyberwolf is the king of the beast, dude. He's 15 points.
Yeah, he is. He's pretty. The Cyberwolf is pretty great for trash mission play. I cannot fault you on that one. My favorite damage output trash is the Humble Repentia, like 1,000%. But I kind of want to put like a little bit of a word in there for my boy the Spore Mine. Because if you're talking about trash and not mission play, there's nothing.
Spore Mine can go to hell.
Spore
Stupid
Mine.
rule.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Stupid.
Hammerfall Bunker is bay trash.
Hammerfall Bunker is just trash. It doesn't go anywhere else.
Oh.
It is maximum trash output, and that's it.
We're gonna get a Hammerfall Bunker, Brad, and it's gonna go on a display board for the Leagues of Votan.
I have a Hammerfall Bunker, by the way.
I would trade you a single Dark Eldar Warrior for it.
I'll just give it to you.
All right.
It's still in the box.
Still not giving you the free elves, though.
I literally won it in a raffle.
Yeah.
I've never even pretended there was a way I could get it on the board. I'm just like, whew, this is hot trash. This is so bad.
One day the Hammerfall Bunker is going to be so OP, and it's going to be so out of stock, and none of us will know where they all went. Like, we've all been in a game store and been like, let's see, they have an Intercessor squad, a Gladiator, 3 Hammerfall Bunkers, okay. And, like, at some point it's going to be good, and they will disappear. And simultaneously, no one will have them, and they'll be out of stock. It's going to be the weirdest thing.
I do like John's thing. Would you change mission play to utility? Probably. I think that utility is I like things with multi. I play a lot of stuff that it's very fragile, that has damage and utility a lot. So I like that. Snivar, of course, here's the thing. If Votan wasn't busted, just good, because I would never play something bad, I would still play. I want to play Space Dwarfs because I am a dwarf, and I really want that.
I'm going to play Votan. Like, we all know it.
What's that?
We all know you're going to play Votan.
Yeah, of course. I make no qualms about the fact that I like to play I have an animation with me driving the bandwagon. I mean, I play the bandwagon, but it has to be fun bandwagon. It's the reason I play things like AdMac. But I am a space dwarf. Also, it bothers me that Votan has psychers. They're dwarves. Dwarves don't have psychers. That's stupid. Also, they don't hate elves. How do you not hate elves?
Attack Marines.
Yeah.
They should have like a tech marine and a weapon master who like buffs just like an infantry tech marine, and it'd be cool. Instead, they have a witch.
They should have a rune carver.
Yep.
Carving magical runes into their vehicles and their units and stuff.
I'm just imagining like the rune carver dwarf who like sits around a campfire with like a bar of soap and like a pocket knife, just like carving like a little bear on a Boy Scout.
Bar of soap.
Slapped it to a vehicle.
You have insulted the Dwarven nation. A bar of soap? Carving it?
Yeah. No. Like amateur level carving.
I am literally going to show up with the Anvil of Doom and wreck your house.
Hey, when
gang.
Scouts, you don't trust him with the good stuff. You give him like a bar of soap and like a pocket knife.
And just go for it?
Yeah.
Work it out, Timmy. You got this, buddy.
It's to start him young.
What even happened to today? We started off with actual things and things just went awry.
Is that what I want? Did things go exactly to plan?
They do have a bunch of my slightly names spelled wrong. I did tell him that too. I'm like, man, why's your name just spelled wrong? He's like, what? How do you mean my name's spelled wrong?
It's gotta be, that has to be so awkward. They're just like, yeah, we're just doing it wrong. I love that they made like the Iron Master broker. Like, what were they going for? Like, they knew what they were doing.
But okay, you want to talk about the thing that needs a fix real quick? It right away, and as usual there's a million things about Votan. I was just looking at it last night. I'm looking over Votan list. Why, when you do upgrade the Iron Master, does it just go, hey man, one, it says your strats cost 1 CP less. Doesn't say whether those are 0 or not. Also, it doesn't say, it goes, hey, you can use it, and then you can't use it again. And then it says, okay, but next turn you can use it again. In the same paragraph. Yeah,
so you don't get like, I have no idea.
Okay, so you get a CP back. I'm going to use a 1 CP strat. I got 2 Iron Masters. I get 1 CP back. I get 3 victory points and a sandwich.
I do hate that genuinely you can just take 2 broke your Iron Masters. Yeah, I don't think you can take 2 of the upgrades though, right?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like the wording is idiotic.
Is it 1 per detachment or like?
No, it doesn't say it. It said you could upgrade that guy. It's like a chapter master upgrade. It's free strats.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like 25 points for 5 CP and also like...
No one's talked about that. Literally, you get free, according to the wording, you basically get free strats, and you have a psychic power, which you shouldn't because there shouldn't be psychers because they're dwarves. Same rant. You have a 5 warp charge, get a CP back also.
But it doesn't stack with CP regen, so do not worry, you can get both.
Yeah, I was going to say, and it also has, you also have a trait to get CP back. So you get free strats, a CP guaranteed every turn, and on a 5+, you can get more CP back. All right, fine. Votan can go to hell.
Yeah.
All right, after saying all that stuff, fine, you got me on it. That army's ridiculous. Not because of just the shooting stuff. They have a stupid mechanic, and that's a dumb, poorly worded.
Like, have we talked about how you can start with 0 CP and still manage to spend 7 on turn 1?
I'm always willing to drink while I play. We know that. In unlimited CP. All right. You know what? This is what I'm ending the stream on. After, I'm not even mad about the overabundance of ridiculous shooting. I'm mad that they have poorly worded crap that gives me unlimited CP. Like I'm playing guard with Blood Angels and a Castellan back in the day. This is stupid.
Well, welcome home. Welcome home, Brad.
I'm not even mad about the shooting. I can hide from the shooting. I can't hide from the 55 CP.
Yeah. I would absolutely love to see Votan against the Castellan. Can you imagine?
The Castellan just gets killed in the turn.
Oh yeah, it's like, oh, I've got my 3-up invul, and they're like, an invulnerable save, you say. Interesting.
I love that it took the other things that go with it to really break my soul. Because I was trying to be cool about it, but I'm just like, wait a minute, do I get free CP, a CP regen,
and +1 CP?
And +1 CP in turn? Yeah. All right, that's got me.
We got him, boys.
Screw you. I want to play no guns. I want to play a berserker army. Make them troops. I'm gonna play 100 berserkers, no guns.
Yeah, don't worry though. Blood Angels wreck them.
Votan kills old school Iron Hands. Actually, they kill everything besides the Dreadnought.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to figure out. I don't know. I actually think Leviathan could do something there. Mostly because you have to remember that you just can't shoot the Chaplain Dreads ever.
No, that's true. I forgot about the Chaplain Dread nonsense.
Yeah, now the Chaplain Dreadnoughts do help a lot there. Also, they had old school eliminators, and I got to tell you, none of those characters heal.
That's true.
Eliminators, Brad. Also, I'm aware that like everything about the shooting phase sucks for Votan, but like think about putting that big old railgun into the Leviathan. It's like, all right, 10 damage, AP4, no invulns, and I'm like, all right, well, that'll go to 5 damage. Well, all right, that'll go to 4 damage. Here's my 5-up Feel Pains. All right, I failed 2. Okay, that intercessor took a wound. Back to you.
Because they took the whole thing. No, it carries over though. But there's nobody to spill over too because there's not a unit. Well, still shoot the Dreadnought.
No. They'll shoot the Dreadnought, but like the Magna Rail.
Why? Why would they shoot the Dreadnought?
Then you half the damage, then you -1 the damage, Brad.
But why would anybody shoot the Dreadnought?
Well, if they don't, that's okay. The intercessors die. Congratulations. I lost the intercessors all the time, Brad. You
have to kill all of them and then you shoot stuff. Otherwise,
Brad,
happens.
I lost 49 Primaris models without firing a shot with them. It's okay. Win that game with Dreadnoughts and Ferris.
So all you need is Ferris and the Dreadnought.
You
know what?
All the Dreadnoughts.
On that note,
I'm
going to eat lunch, everyone. You've broken me. I'm out.
Now you're the broker, Iron Master.
I'm a feeble broke. I'm going to get some cyber replacement parts. I'm out of here.
All right. Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. As always, hit that like, share, subscribe. We'll see you next time.